Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a get ready with me using all the products I pulled in this past week's Makeup Basket Monday. So I have the Tarte new palette here. This is the Tarte Young, Wild, and Cruelty Free palette, so I'm going to use this. I did pull an actual foundation to use, but I was told that foundation was recalled, so I was like, what? How did I not know this? So I'm not going to be using the foundation that I had originally pulled. So the foundation that I pulled is the IT Cosmetics Confidence and a Foundation Long Wear Weightless Full Coverage Foundation. So evidently they put this on the market, and then like almost immediately after putting it on the market they recalled it, or they just took it off the market. So I'm not planning to use this. This is actually going into my trash and my empties, and I'll tell you guys about it there again, I guess. So that way there, just in case you don't catch it in today's Get Ready With Me, I'll tell you guys maybe some information that I might find out about why they discontinued it. That would be kind of helpful, I guess. So anyway, we're going to get ready, but first of all I'm going to also swatch the palette for you guys. I know sometimes I don't swatch the palettes because I think I just forget, honestly. I don't know why I don't do it, but anyway, we're gonna swatch it today. So the colors look like this in the palette. The palette is really beautiful. I really love all the colors in here. I have been able to create some really pretty eye looks with this. So for me, this is a palette that I know I will enjoy for a while. This one here for me is better than most of the palettes that I've tried from Tarte. Some of the colors are a little weak, but for the most part it's really good. So let's go ahead and swatch this. We'll start in rows, so we'll do the first row and then we'll go to second and then third. So you guys are seeing it upside down, so it looks like I'm doing it opposite, but it's upside down. So if I put it the right way, you'll see what I mean. So we're going to start here with Swan Song. So Swan Song, Oh Dear, Hypocritical, and Bare Necessities. So those are the four colors right here in the top row, so we'll swatch those first. And I'm trying to find a place to swatch them. How should I swatch them? Okay, probably here. So there is the first one. There's that first four colors there. So as you can tell, they're really pretty. Even the white has a good pigmentation to it. I mean, when you put it on the eyes, I've noticed the white does kind of like powder out a little bit, but it's not terrible. Then we're going to move on to the next one. So we're going to get the last color in this row first though. So, oh my gosh, I can't even hold this open. Why won't it stay open? Now we have Colified. I don't know what that word is, but Colified. We have Two Can Do It, No Fox Given, and Iguana Love You. Iguana, that's too cute. So there are those four colors as well. So we'll swatch them along with these. So you can see this whole palette swatched out all together, hopefully. So there's what those four colors as well look like. So far, I think this palette is just really good. For me, I'm like, go Tarte, because I know Tarte has been getting a lot of criticism about their palettes. Sometimes they tend to kind of lean towards a little bit more just neutral, too neutral sometimes. And I think they really stepped outside of their comfort zone in this one, and it's really beautiful. So now we have oh my gosh, Irrelevant. I don't know what, Irrelevant. I don't know. And then we have Totally. So these are like animals, I guess. So we have Irrelevant, Totally, then we have You're a Lion, we have Monkey Business. So these colors here, Monkey Business is a little bit more of like a so anyway, Monkey Business is a little bit more harder texture, but it's not bad once you put it on the eyes. It just feels a little bit more tougher as you're swatching it, but it still looks beautiful. As you can tell here, all the colors in here are super pigmented. I'm running out of arm space. I'm gonna go up a little bit, so we'll do the last colors there. So then we have three more colors to do. We have Camouflage, we have Hawkered, and Party Animal. So Camouflage, Hawkered, and Party Animal. Hopefully you guys are seeing this. So there are the last three colors in the palette. So we'll swatch these up here. That one, I think I picked up a little too much. I had a little bit of chunkiness coming off on it. But as you can tell, I only did one swatch with these, and they're really pigmented. So I do notice, like I said, there are a couple that, like when you're blending them, they kind of just powder out a little bit, so they just a little bit disappear. Not bad though, honestly. It's not so that it's like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to wear these shadows. They just do happen to kind of dissipate a little bit. So there's what all the colors look like. They're swatched. I think it's a really beautiful color palette. Like, what do they call it? It's a color family. Is that what they call it? I don't know what they call it when they have like them all put together, but anyway, I think it's just really pretty. So let's go ahead and wipe this off. As you can tell, some of these are not coming off very easy, which is going to prove to you, as you guys have probably seen from Jen Loves Reviews, that kind of tells you the longevity to the makeup. So they're not coming off super easy. So it's taking a little bit of effort to scrub them off. As long as I don't scrub my soft tanner off, because I'm just learning how to do soft tanner. So I think I finally have it kind of down, so that makes me happy. Alright, so anyway, we're just going to be striped. We're like a lion, or what is it, a zebra, not a lion, oh my gosh. No, lions have zebras. So I'm like, anyway, let's move on. Now we're going to go ahead and prime my skin, and we're going to use the Tarte Quench Hydrating Primer. This primer is really nice. If you have dry skin like I do, it's going to help give you a lot of nourishment to your skin. I really am enjoying this. The only thing I would say about this primer is that I think it's a little bit liquidy. So if you don't like a more liquidy primer, then you might not like it. It's not really a lotion style, but it definitely does give some hydration. So let's go ahead and put this onto my skin here. As you can tell, I have some very friendly friends here today. They're like twins. Do you see this? I have twins. I'm like, oh, hello. So, but that came from a skincare treatment that I used in my Sample Sunday series. I have another one here. It's either that or it's just hormonal. I think, isn't it the ones that are like around like where if you have a beard? Isn't that hormonal? Pretty sure it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But either way, I think it's either the skincare or it's hormonal. But I'm definitely not going to be using that skincare item again. You guys will see that in my Sample Sunday series as I talk about it. So that is on my face now. My face feels nice and hydrated. It's very lightweight, so it's not going to mess with your foundation too much. So if you're someone who you don't like your foundation to look super oily or super like not mattified, super, I guess you could say moisturized, then you would probably like this. It does leave a little bit of a stickiness to it. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's got a little bit of a stickiness to it, but it's not bad. Now I'm going to go in with this foundation because I know this is a good foundation. I'm going to use the Giorgio Armani Lasting Silk UV Foundation. This does have SPF 20 in it, so still not enough for what I personally like. I like my foundations to have at least, or my SPF to be at least a 30 or up. So I still will end up adding more like SPF to my skin because I like to make sure that my skin is nice and covered from the sun because I already have melasma spots and I don't really want any more. So my skin has healed a lot though from the melasma spots. I don't know if you can tell it or not because it's been a while since I've been on camera without any makeup on. I think the last Get Ready With Me I had already had the foundation on, so you couldn't really see the melasma that I've developed from the summer. So I usually get it in the summer and I don't think it's like abnormal. I think it's a very normal thing for it to happen in the summer because the sun does tend to kind of make them more brighter or more bold or whatever you want to call them, just accentuate it onto your skin. Here's where it's still pretty bad. I am using this product from Alpha Skincare, I think is the brand. I'm using a product from them and it's really helping my skin. So it's got hydroquinone, I think is what it is. Hydroquinone. I'm pretty sure that's the name of the product that I really was looking for to actually help my skin out. So that's what I've been using and it's really helping a lot and it's not super expensive. So I know somebody had said that Canada had recalled a product that, or like an ingredient that's in there. So I need to do some research on that as well. I haven't really researched it, to be honest with you, because I was just like, oh my gosh, don't tell me that because it's actually working. So I probably should have went in first with my Dr. Jart, the Cicapair. That would have helped with the redness, but honestly I forgot. So we're just going to go in with a little bit more foundation. It's okay. I still have the nasty cough. I think summer colds are like so much harder to get rid of than like winter colds for some reason. I don't know why, but I feel like this cold is lasting forever. I'm like, I'm going to be sick until Christmas. That's what I'm starting to feel like. I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, so as you can tell, that's two things of foundation, and it's pretty covered. This is still kind of noticeable. I don't know if you can tell it or not, but it's still pretty noticeable. So I'm going to go in on the other side, and I'm just going to cover where it's mostly some things I want to cover up, especially my forehead right here where I do have that melasma spot, which like I said, if I'd used the Dr. Jart, the Cicapair, that would have helped really cover that up a lot too. So either way, we're good. We're gonna make it through it. All right, so now that that is done, we're gonna go in and set my lids. And for my lids today, I'm using the Benefit Boing. This is actually a concealer. It's not actually like a lid primer, so, but I like it as a lid primer because it works really well for me. And it's too thick for me as a concealer for like under my eyes. It does work for like acne, so I could put a little bit on my acne spot over here. I don't know if the color is gonna be good or not, but we'll do it anyway. We'll do it anyway. We'll see what happens. So that covered some. Okay, so let's put some on my eyelids. Start to cover up any kind of discoloration I have on my lids. I do have some discoloration. I have a dark spot on, I think it's this lid right here that I'm working on right now. There's a dark spot on that lid, so I like to try to cover it with a little bit of something, either the primer that has a color to it or an actual concealer. So I do like to use that. I think it helps. So that is done now. Oh, I like slipped with the lid. Put the lid back on it. Now we're going to go ahead and set my eyelids. I'm going to go in with the palette of the Tarte palette, and we're going to go into that white shade, which is the shade Swan Song. So we're going to go into Swan Song, which is a matte shade. I'm going to go in there to that, tap it off a little bit. It's like super powdery. See all that powder? I'm going to tap into there, and then we're just going to set my lids a little bit here with this big old fluffy brush. I don't even know what this brush is. It's a T38. It says it's a T38, whatever a T38 is. Oh, ECM tools. So, all right. So now we're going to continue to set my lids after I took my little cough break. So that cough is still getting to me. Like I said, I don't know why it won't go away, but it tends to stick around, and all of a sudden I'll just be talking and then I feel like that tickling in my throat, and then I'm coughing like a maniac. So I do apologize if there's going to be a lot of jumping around in the video because of that. So now we're going to go into this shade right here, which is Oh Dear. So we're going to go into Oh Dear with this brush right here. This is a Morphe brush. This is the Morphe M441. We're going to go in with that and start putting that into my crease. See how that works? It's a really pretty color. I like how it's like just a very light color and it's not super pigmented. I mean, it's pigmented, but it's not so pigmented that it takes me a long time to blend it out. You saw it just blended very easily. But it also helps that I set my lids with the concealer as well as a powder first. So that really does help to get things blended out easier in my opinion. So get this blended. You guys like my shirt? I'm wearing the Friend shirt. I got this at Walmart. I think it was like $7 or something like that. I found it in the men's section and I was like, yep, you're coming home with me. I need that shirt. I really love Friends. You guys have to let me know if you watched Friends and what your favorite episode was, or maybe you have a favorite season, maybe a favorite character in the show. My favorite character would be probably Joey. I think Joey was just funny, and he had like a good personality, and he was just easygoing, so I really like Joey. Alright, now we're going to move on to over here. We're going to go into Qualified. Dip into that with this Sigma small tapered blending brush. This is the E45. Dip into that, and then we're just going to put some of this into the outer V here. I tried to curl my hair today, and then I think I like to curl it, and sometimes I'll pin it after I've curled it. And I think I pinned it for too long because the curls got really, really tight. So now I've got it up in this crazy ponytail because my hair is like super fluffy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it looks a little crazy right now. So I need to like let it relax a little bit. I'm just gonna leave it pinned up for a while. And then I don't want to brush it out because I'm afraid it's gonna get really frizzy because I do have pretty frizzy hair. So I'm like, it's gonna be either really frizzy or it's gonna be like super tight curls. One of the two. I don't know what's gonna happen to my hair today. So right now we're just gonna leave it pinned up. Just gonna leave her pinned. Alright, I need to get another mirror. I know you guys probably don't like this mirror. This is my Kat Von D mirror, but this is the only handheld mirror I have. Right now I have a mirror behind you guys, but I need that to kind of like see the viewfinder. My camera, the new one, doesn't really have a viewfinder. So unfortunately I can't really see very well. So we'll just do it this way. We'll look in the mirror and I'll try to point towards you guys so you guys can see what I'm doing at least. I'm just blending out with a clean brush. Blending up and over. So instead of blend, maybe we should say pivot. Pivot, pivot, pivot. If you guys know what that's from, you'll have to let me know. I'm sure you probably know though. I think everybody knows what that phrase is from. Okay, so now we're done with that part. I'm just doing a pretty simple eye look because honestly I'm not planning to do anything super special. So now I'm going to go in with the shade Hypocritical. I'm going to use my finger to go in with that, and there's what it looks like when you use your finger, and I'm just going to tap that onto the lid. Look how pretty that is though. That's so pretty. Just a nice purpley colored eye. Pinky purple. There's what that one looks like, and we'll go in a little bit more on the other side. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I think this palette is really good. I think Tarte did a fantastic job this time, and it's like been a while since I can say that about Tarte, because not that they have bad palettes, but I think that sometimes they just kind of get like comfortable in the colors that they choose, and they were choosing just very easy colors before, and now I feel like this is just, it's so pretty. I'm gonna go back into this one right here, which is Qualified. Just gonna do a little bit more onto my lid. Let me find my mirror again so I don't mess up too much. Or not my lid, my brow bone. So I'm just gonna put a little bit more there. I'm gonna dip back into that same color. I'm not gonna pick the palette up just because it's easier just to dip back in and use my little handheld mirror. I need to get another way to be able to watch my camera to make sure it doesn't shut off on me. You guys have any suggestions, let me know, other than it keeping my mirror behind it so I can make sure that the camera's actually on. That's the only thing that I could think of when I was like setting it up. I'm like, this will work, right? But then I'm not thinking that I need my mirror for when I do my get ready with me's. So now I'm a little SOL. Now I'm going to go into the shade right here, which is, what is it called? Hawkward. We're going to go into that with this Sigma. This is the E25 brush. I'm just going to dip in. And then we're going to put that into the brow bone. We're going to use that for my brow and highlight. Just a little bit on the outer corner right here. And do it again on the other side. It's a pretty color as well. It's not super bold with this brush because it's more of a fluffier brush. But if you use more of like a packing brush, it would be a lot prettier. But still, I think it's pretty. I don't think it's bad at all. So it's pretty good. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and start doing my brows. I was like, what do I need to do? Your brows. Yes, brows. Okay, let me see. Where's my brow products? So for brow products, I have this Bodyography product. This came in like a BoxyCharm like a long time ago. So if you guys have this still, you guys have to let me know if you still use it. I love mine. I think it works so good. So now let me just find a brow brush here. Actually, I just got one here I'll use. Oh. Alright, we'll use this one. We'll use this brow brush, and it's a $1 billion brows brush, it's basically a brow brush. I don't know why I was like hesitating on saying it for. It's a brow brush. So I'm gonna dip into the lightest color and then like the medium shade, and then kind of top off a little bit. And now I'm gonna use my Tarte mirror and put this on like this. Just going with a little bit of powder, start to outline where my brow should like go. And then I'm just going to dip back into those same colors. I'm not going to pick the palette back up I'm like stuttering. I'm not going to pick it back up right now. Now I'm just going to fill in any sparseness in my brows. You guys have to let me know what kind of summer plans you have. I really thought we were going to be able to go on another small mini vacation, but I don't know. I think we may end up going to like Baltimore. We might actually go there this weekend. So I think we might do that. But other than that, I don't really know anything like big that we're doing. I think the cruise kind of just like wore everybody out, and I got like pretty sick afterwards, so I'm like a little paranoid to go anywhere. And water is really kind of scary to get into right now because you keep seeing all these things on the news about everybody getting like the flesh-eating bacteria stuff, and I'm like, what? I don't want to go near any water for sure. That's scary. That's very scary. So my son's birthday cake, I don't know if I told you guys last week, I was making him a birthday cake. I made him a cake and it turned out really good. It was like a log. It looked like a log. I think I posted a picture of it on my Instagram. So the only thing I wish I would have done is I wish I would have made it like 4 layers. I only did 2-layer cake and it was just a little puny. So it needed a little help. But other than that, I think it turned out good. It was really tasty, which, I mean, I love cake. Especially chocolate cake. Chocolate cake is delicious. So now I'm going to go in and just kind of like spread this out a little bit here into my brows and clean up the front a little bit because I don't like for it to be super bold right there in the front. I like for it to look a little bit more natural looking. Like right now that's really bold. So I'm going to clean up some. Clean. Alright. Sometimes I'll take the beauty blender, which we'll do that today. I'll just take it and like tap it right there just to kind of get a little bit of the powder away. Just because I think it looks more natural. Is it me or am I crazy? Probably I'm crazy. Don't answer that question. Alright, now we're going to go in and do a little bit of contouring. I'm going to use the Urban Decay. This is the Naked Skin Shapeshifter palette. So I'm going to use this shade right over here. I don't think it has a shade name on it, but we're going to use that shade. And we're going to use this brush right here. This is a Luxie Precision Foundation brush. I'm going to go in with that and then just kind of carve out my cheekbones a little bit here. So basically I just start up here and take it down to about like where my eye starts. I don't put it real heavy or anything, and this is a cream product, so I want to make sure I put this on before I put any more powder products onto my skin. Oh, I don't think I got anything there. Was anything come off the brush there? Did you see that? I mean, come on. I think the brush might be a little too soft for this cream product. It might be a little too soft. All right, now that we've got my cheekbones a little carved out. I don't really do anything drastic, honestly. Now we'll go ahead and bronze up a little bit while we have the palette out in my hand. So let me find a brush. Okay, where's my brushes? I brought a basket full of them over here and I just don't know which one I'm going to use. All right, so now I'm going to use this shade right here in this palette. This is a really pretty bronzing shade, but it's a little bit orange. So what I like to do is mix this and this together, and then I think it works better. So tap that off a little bit and then bronze up my skin, even though I really don't need it. That foundation really made me look quite bronze. So now I'm just going to do the 3 shape where you just go down and 3 shape it very quickly. And do the same thing. I'm going to get a little bit more on my brush here because I think I used it all up. And just, again, make sure I get it into the hairline as well. Take it under my chin, bring it down the neck a little bit. There we go. What do you guys think? Looks pretty bronzy, doesn't it? Looks like I've been at the beach. Yeah, I'll take that. All right, so now we have that done. I'm going to go ahead and go in with my cream blush. This is the Natasha Denona Bloom palette, Blush and Glow palette. So these are like very pigmented, like uber duper pigmented. So what I like to use is a stippling brush to use the blushes because I think they're quite pigmented. So I'm going to go into this pink shade. It's not really pink, it's like a rose shade. I'm going to go into that and then also to the pink shade a little bit. I'm going to do both. We're going to tap into both. And then I'm just going to tap this onto my cheeks. Definitely make sure you use a stippling brush with it. If you get this shade right here, which is, I don't think they have different shades yet, do they? Or do they? I don't know. But I'm just gonna stipple it on. The thing I like about the cream blushes is that they look so natural. It doesn't look like you're actually wearing blush. It just looks like your skin. So I'm like, I like that part of it. I just wish I could love creams more better. I just wish I could get a better grip on them, I guess, and how to use them and stuff. I think it takes a little bit of practice, honestly, to figure out how to use them. Now I'll put a little bit on my nose. Alright, so now we're done with that part. I'm going to go ahead and conceal my under eyes with my Urban Decay All Nighter. Or not All Nighter. This is the Urban Decay Naked Skin, not All Nighter. Oh my gosh. I'm losing my marbles. I'm going to put a little bit here, and a little bit here. My dogs might bark here in a second. My husband just is pulling in the driveway. So if they bark, I do apologize. I'll probably pause you guys if they start barking a whole bunch. Okay, so my husband did come home. The dogs barked a little bit, but that's okay. So now we'll go ahead and go in with our powder. This is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Setting Powder. Oof, I poured a whole bunch in the lid. Just gonna go in with my finger. I like to do it with my finger. Honestly, I used to start in the outer portion, but I've been starting more in the inner portion lately, and I think it works a little bit better for me because I feel like it sets better. So I think it does a good job, especially for my dry skin. My skin is so dry, it's like the Sahara Desert. So anything that makes my skin look nice and hydrated, I'm like, yep, I'll take that. And not look like it needs water. Okay, so that is set. Pour that powder back into my little pan here. Don't want to waste that, that's like gold. Now I'm going to go, whoops, sorry guys, I bumped you. I'm going to go in with these are the Girl On Little Meteorites. I've pulled these to kind of use these to just give like a glow all over my skin. So I'm just going to tap into these and just set a little bit all over. Set a little all over. And it doesn't make me look dry, which is what I like about it. I think it just makes your skin look really glowy. So I really like these, and the container is actually really nice as well. So now we need to, what else we need to do? Oh, we need to finish my eyes. So I need to put mascara on. So I'm going to put my lashes. I'm going to curl my lashes. I bought the Shiseido lash curler, but I don't like it. I don't think it does that much for me. I'm like, it's okay. Now I'm going to put my mascara on. I'm using the Hourglass. This is the Caution mascara. I'm going to use this quick. Alright, so I went ahead and did my mascara. My husband was wanting to talk, so I was like, I'll just do my mascara while we're talking. And besides that, I was holding the mirror like this close to my face anyway. And while I was holding the mirror this close to my face, I discovered something else about this palette that I hadn't realized because I have a cold. So I don't know why I just didn't smell it. But it smells really good. It smells like vanilla, so this smells just like their other palettes that smell very vanilla-y, so it smells good like cake almost. So I really like that as well. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of color on my lower lash line. I'm going to use, let me find a brush here. I'm going to use this little brush right here. This is, I don't know what it is. It's got like suspended glitter in it, so, and I'm going to go into the shade right here, this teal looking shade. I'm just going to put a little bit of that on my lower lash line just to give it a little bit of a pop of color. So I really like that color. I love the teals. Teals are like one of my favorite shades. Okay. Put it on this side as well. I don't really bring it down too far. I just kind of like put it there. Put it there. Put her there. Alright. Now we need to... What do we need to do? I need to find my highlighter. Oh, I'm like, where did it go? I'm going to use the Hourglass highlighter. I'm going to use this little pink shade right here as my inner corner highlight. Look how like bold that is. Oh, wow, that's Hourglass. Hourglass is typically known for not being so bold, but this one is a little bit more of a bold palette that they have. And like kind of tap that in a little bit. That's like looking a little extreme actually. So now I'm going to go in and highlight my cheekbones. So to highlight my cheekbones, I'm going to use this brush right here, and I'm going to use the same exact shade. This is like a stippling brush, but it works good for my highlight. It just kind of like buffs it on a little bit lightly. I don't like it super concentrated, so it just gives me like an all over glow right in that area. And then down my nose a little bit and on my lip a little bit. I like to put it here, but eventually it just falls off, honestly. Now the last thing is lips. So for lips, I've been using these right here. These are the Maybelline. These are the Super Stay Matte Ink lipsticks. So these are so good, guys. Like they last forever on your lips. So I'm going to go in with the boldest shade, which is 80 Ruler. This is like my brightest shade I have. I'm going to use that one today. So let's see how precise we can do this. I'm not very good at like putting lipstick on, so we'll see how bad of a job I do. We might end up looking like Miranda Sings, but that's okay, right? She's pretty awesome. All right, let's see. I'm famous. Alright, it's on. It took me a little while just because this color is so intense and I really don't want it to like smudge everywhere. I really like the way that these, I'm sure I got my teeth either. I'm like, oh, do I have on my teeth? But I really love how these set on your lips. They're just beautiful. They're not super drying and they last for a very long time. Like it's hard to get them off, honestly. So these are really good. Highly recommend those. I do have to also mention that I didn't use the Tarte Big Ego mascara because it sucks. It doesn't give me length or volume or anything. It basically just coats my lashes with a little bit of color. So I don't like this mascara. But that is it for today. That is my get ready with me. So I am done. So now I need to actually figure out what to do with my hair now that I've like messed it all up into these. It's not even curls now. It just looks frizzy. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. Pray for me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.